Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 84. Tonight, we rank the best of all the NPCs in the Legend of Zelda franchise. And we'll be talking some of the latest news and more. Well, greetings out there to the great wide world of Nintendo Pals. My name is Andros. And for those that are new here, this is the Nintendo Pals Podcast, and I am joined by my fellow Nintendo Pal co-host, Micah.
Yep.
And on this show, we talk about Nintendo news, rumors, games we're playing, as well as community-submitted questions and topics. And, just whatever else we want to talk about that's Nintendo-related, because we like Nintendo. I felt like I had something coming, like a really good reason.
I thought you were going to say something like, because we're the Nintendo Pals, or something like that.
That would have been more clever than what I said. And that's why Micah's here. Speaking of, Micah, how the heck are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, we were talking about in pre-show. Something feels off. I don't know why I feel off with this week. Maybe it's because all the notes were slapped together so last minute here. And I just am like, I'm not ready, but we're here doing this anyways. So, speaking of notes, we've got some notes to go over, and those notes are 5-star reviews. That's right, Micah. This week, we received, for the second week in a row, 5 new 5-star reviews for the Nintendo Pals podcast. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that's left us a 5-star review. It helps us out a ton, helps people discover the show. And let's read some of these off. So first off here, we've got one from Parbrand 2022 on iTunes. And they say this one, we're gonna have to dissect this a bit. All right, there's some questions in here. There's some topics addressing some episodes. It's a longer review. So, hey, this is my first review, and the web series Homestar Runner? Question mark. Someone mentioned Strong Bad. I think you did last.
Yeah,
episode.
I mentioned when you were talking about that, like text based part of Terrorblade.
Yeah,
my first experience in that foray into that was Homestar Runner. They had a text-based game.
I don't know Homestar Runner at all. I think I only know is it Trogdor?
Trogdor.
Yeah.
I haven't seen very many of them, but that's one of them.
Yeah. And I feel like you showed that to me. I think
probably.
So I think that's all I really know about Homestar Runner. And yeah, so there you go. Do we know it? Somewhat. Back to the review. He says they say there's a podcast called Come On. I can't pronounce that. FHG Pods, a Homestar Runner podcast. And I like Nintendo too. Do you play Minecraft? That's the question.
I have not played in a while, a long while.
Yeah, it's been a good chunk of time for me as well. I like it, but I feel like we burnt ourselves out on it. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Micah and I played one time like 24 hours straight.
It was a New Year's party.
It was a New Year's party.
We stayed up all night playing.
We were
Minecraft.
like, we're gonna beat it, and we did not. By the way, we're so bad that we couldn't beat it with that much time, and it just evolved into a brawl.
Yeah, I went into the Nether and just created this massive lava landscape for some reason. I spent hours on it.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. The next comment here on the review says, my first Nintendo console is Nintendo Wii. And my first Nintendo handheld is the Nintendo 3DS. And I broke my Nintendo 3DS. No, I'm so sorry to hear that, Barbran. But he follows up with, what is your first Nintendo console and handheld? And then closes his 5-star review with, what's your policy on long reviews? And these are all actually, it says PS, what is your first Nintendo console? PPS, what's your policy on long reviews? And PPPS, I watched the movie Free Guy. It's on Disney Plus. So shout out to that. If you haven't seen it, Free Guy's pretty good. What was your first Nintendo console and handheld, Micah? We've talked about this, but it's been a long time ago. I think it was like one of our first episodes.
Well, yeah, my first Nintendo non-handheld console was a GameCube, actually. Before that, I had the Sega Genesis. But my first handheld was the Game Boy Color.
My first handheld was also the Game Boy Color. I had a purple one. Is that what you had as well?
A purple see-through one.
You had the cool purple one. I had the like solid colored purple one.
And a solid green. I actually have 2 see-through purple ones.
Why do you have 2 Game Boys? I guess one was siblings.
We have 3, yeah. Well, there were a lot of us. I only remember having 2, so I don't know where this third one came from.
So that was my first handheld. My first console was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Yep. Nice. That was a fantastic system. I still have it. That very console. Right here, sporting quite the fantastic game, Plock.
Technically a game.
And
I need to play it again.
What is our policy?
Really
what is our policy on long reviews, Micah? I don't think we have one. So yeah, feel free to leave a long review if you want, or a short review, or no review at all, just 5 stars. You can do that and be awesome, just like Parbrand. Thank you so much. We're the first 5-star review they've ever left. I am honored. You're a legend. Thank you for doing that. Next one. I'll read off this one. I'll let you read the Podchaser one. I think you'll enjoy that one. This next one comes from Frontal Distortion. This is actually a resubmission of a 5-star review. Frontal Distortion has left us a 5-star review before, but he has updated the 5-star review. And it says, Hyrule Herald, a fun podcast to listen to that is as inviting as it is guaranteed to deliver Nintendo news with a bit of rumor mixed in for debate. Each week, that intro music can be taken as the announcement of a seal of quality that what is coming is an enjoyable delivery of the latest of what our Nintendo is up to. Your fan, Solo Something. Frontal Distortion is Solo Something. Plot twist. Thanks so much for leaving us. Thanks so much for updating your 5-star review, Solo. We appreciate it. Solo's been on the show before. He is awesome. Definitely hit up our Discord. Check out Solo Something. come chat with Solo Something in the Discord. Yeah. So that's 2 new reviews from Apple Podcasts. We got 1 from Podchaser. By the way, his 5-star review wasn't one of the new ones. We also got an anonymous new one. So thank you to whoever left us a 5-star review. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and he is the Falcon 591 saying
this is on Podchaser. Sorry.
Yeah. Greetings from Chile or Chile, depending on how you want to say that. I want to do this 5-star review with the only
purpose.
I was like, porpoise? That's like a dolphin. Purpose of helping the Nintendo pals to
that's somehow more fitting.
Yeah, I was like, is this an inside joke I forgot about? As with the only purpose of helping Nintendo pals to, as Andros said, conquer the world.
That's in all caps, Nintendo podcast, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, that's as all capital as I talk. Because I think Nintendo Pals is the only and one supreme podcast in this world. All hail Emperor Andros, all hail Emperor Micah. Keep up the good work, guys.
Oh man, Falcon 591, thank you so much for the 5-star review. When I read this, I busted up. I was cracking up. That is so funny. And yes, we are trying to conquer the world, as he put. I'm not sure how comfortable I'm being called Emperor Andros. I think it's just this is not really an empire so much as it is a
I like it.
so much as it is a awesome community of Nintendo pals. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. And these 5-star reviews, for the sole purpose of conquering the world of Nintendo podcasts. And then in addition to that, we got 2 new anonymous reviews. Well, one of them was our buddy LPD on Spotify, for a total of up to, or we are up to 31 reviews on Spotify. Five star. I think we have one not 5-star in that one. So someone made a mistake. They accidentally clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Obviously.
go in and check. If you haven't left one yet, throw the 5 in there. And if yours was accidentally less than 5, just bump it on up. It's all good. We forgive you. Thank you so much to everybody who's left us 5-star reviews. Really appreciate it. And for anybody leaving us reviews, feedback in any way, we really appreciate that. It does help people discover the show, and we have an absolute blast reading them. They make us smile. Now, let's move on to the next part of the show, Micah. And what do you say we talk what you playing?
Let's do it.
Micah, why don't you take it first this week? What have you been playing lately?
Well, I've played some more Fortnite. It had been a while.
You've been playing more than I have. I haven't touched Fortnite in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've technically played 3 times in the new season, but 2 of the times were for like maybe 30 minutes. I played like 3 matches each. Last time I played for a fair chunk, but it was pretty good. They have these new Anvil rocket launchers, which are a lot of fun. You like aim where you want them to go, you fire them off, and they like fly up a bit and then come crashing down on that location. And they also
An
lock onto
anvil,
the vehicle.
like Looney Tunes cartoon Anvil.
No, it's just called the Anvil rocket launcher or something like that. It'd be even better if it was just a straight anvil
or like a piano.
I mean, they did have, what was those like rift things you'd throw where something random would fall out?
Yeah.
It's
I don't
kind of like
those.
that ish, but longer range and doesn't break through absolutely everything and one shot people. But yeah, I'm a little more used to the running mechanics now, although I almost killed myself like 5 times because I keep trying to sprint, which now takes you out of building mode. So I've run off my builds a few times on accident.
Rough.
But it's been pretty fun.
Nice. Anything else you played?
Besides that, played some more Terrorbane. I still want to say Terrorblade every time.
Say Terrorblade.
I have one last place that I need to find like 4 more bugs on until the entire game is broken.
Oh man, you're way farther than I am. I thought I was keeping pretty good pace.
Yeah, I don't know if anything happens at that point. I kind of hope something does, but
yeah, I was sort of hoping there'd be like a true boss or something.
Yeah, the dev.
At the end. The dev. You fight the dev. Have you found the dev?
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
And you never see his face.
Yeah.
There's always something.
So I'm halfway. I have broken the scroll, and the first world, like the Whiskerberg, all the variants of that. So I need to do I don't remember what it's called, 20XX.
Yeah,
and
after the reboot or something.
Yeah, then the Dark Realm at the end, or the Card Realm.
Yeah, I just have the Card Realm left, I think.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Do we want to talk spoilers on this? But the Card Realm got crazy, and I loved it. I didn't realize, because when I first did it, it ended pretty quickly. Honestly, I cleared through pretty fast. But playing cards in slightly different order changed things a lot.
Yeah.
Did you flood the level? I'm
Yep.
assuming you have. Yeah, flooding the level and and then turned into a cooking
Pizza.
game. it was all over the place, and I really enjoyed I played a pizza, and he countered with pineapples. That's
Which
pretty
I
funny.
greatly appreciated as someone who does not like pineapple on pizzas.
He's like, what sort of move could he possibly counter with? And pineapples. That's
Yep.
the thing there.
Destroyed the pizza.
Yeah. I also been playing Terabane. I'm enjoying it a lot. I do want to do full completion, but if you find out that there is nothing, just let me know, and I'll probably
I'm
take
not
a
gonna
break
tell
from.
you.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to spend the time. I have so many games to play that I probably wouldn't spend the time there. But it is that good, y'all. I want 100% it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it can get a little tedious at times, like trying to find all these bugs, but most of the time it's a lot of fun searching around and seeing how you can possibly break stuff.
This week as well, I also dove into the new games added to NSO, and specifically for NES NSO. That is Dig Dug 2 and Mappy Land. Mappy Land was all right. It's not as good as original Mappy, in my opinion, because original Mappy was very arcadey, and I don't know, like it's very similar, but I liked the feel of that one more, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it was all right. Dig Dug 2 is a completely different game than Dig Dug 1. And I did not like it at first. At first I was not having a good time at all. I was like, this is way not as good as the original Dig Dug. And
Original Dig Dug's like a masterpiece,
it
practically.
it really is. I really like it. That's one of my favorite like old school arcade titles out there. It's just so fun. What a unique idea. And yeah, it was really fun. But Dig Dug 2 at about level 12, it took that long. And I don't know why I stuck with it that long, but I got to level 12 and it gets good because the first levels are just too easy. And there, once they start cranking up the difficulty is when you appreciate the funness of the new level designs. Now, the difference between Dig Dug 1 and 2 is a over or a top
Top
down
down.
perspective, and there are little holes that you can dig to cut chunks of the island level that you are on, and if you can manage to cut a piece, it will sink that part of the
Fall into
island,
the ocean.
and all of those enemies will fall in. Have you played this game?
I played it for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And it
What
just
did you
wasn't
think?
as I mean I probably played it for like 3 minutes actually. I played and got to like the second level or the third level or something, and I was just like, I'm not really having a good time here. And then
Yeah,
stop.
that is exactly what I thought. But I was just like, I'll just keep giving it a go. I don't know. I like it has to get good. I was just it's like one of those I'm just eating because I'm bored kind of moments. And I'm glad I did because once I hit like I said, once I hit about level 12, the enemies are way more plentiful, and you have to be quick reacting to in order to beat the levels, and it's a blast. It really was a lot of fun. It gets crazy difficult, like super difficult. The farther the further you get in, I think I played up to level 32, and that's when I was like,
Sounds
okay,
pretty good.
yeah. After I hit that like mark, from then on, it was really fun to keep playing, and then it was also really fun to just try and get the biggest chunk of the island to fall off
Oh
and try
yeah.
and get all the guys trapped on the other side. Yeah. So that I don't know. There was something really satisfying about how you cut chunks
Having
of
things
the
fall
island off.
away. Yeah.
Yeah. And so between those two, I recommend Dig Dug 2. I did not play Earthworm Jim 2 because I've played a whole bunch of that one previously. So I didn't really need to revive it. I've actually played it recently on my Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I've played the first one, so I need to try out Earthworm Jim 2.
And then I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild. Did that for stream and had a great time doing that. I played with no pausing of any kind. I couldn't pause to change. I couldn't use the D-pad to change runes or weapons or shields or bows, even. So anything that paused the game in any way, nope, can't use it. And then I turned off the HUD. There's a setting where you can switch it to Pro mode, and it just shows your hearts. So you have no mini map. You got nothing on the screen.
So they need to make a true pro mode where you don't even see your health.
You don't even know how many hits you got. Yeah, that would be wild.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Wild, you say?
Yes. Breath of the Wild. And then I also played some Spelunky too.
Oh wow!
Because I'm still trying.
It's not worth it
to clear without getting any money. And yeah, it really doesn't feel worth it, but I enjoy Spelunky enough that it's just kind of a mindless thing to do while doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And then besides that, actually today I have a show and tell. I have a show and tell. Let's see if you can see this back here. Do you see that?
Yeah, I know it is a picture, but I don't think anyone else
for
does.
the audio listeners, my wife got an Everyone is Here poster from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So it's that tapestry-like painting with all the characters on it. I gotta say that this thing is crazy awesome. It is so cool. I'm gonna go back there, Micah, to show you a sense of scale on how big this thing is. All right, this is 5 feet long.
You got a frame for it?
Yeah.
Did you have to make that yourself? It's definitely necessary for you to lay down next to it.
That's
to get that scale.
You wanted to see how big it was. Here, I'll bring it over so I can show it. Yeah, so my wife actually made the frame.
Oh, nice.
It's so heavy.
You managed to make it like extra blurry. Oh, that's good.
There are so many details to this thing that I never noticed. For example, Piranha Plant on here. He's planting a Pikmin.
Is he really?
Yes. I didn't know that. Like, that's so cool. There's the slime from Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest, yeah.
I didn't remember that being in there. And then the wall is here, so I can't show any more up close. But you get the idea. This thing is
super
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so that thing is 5 feet wide and 1 foot long. And the shop we got it from actually sells a version that is double that. So 2 feet wide and 10 feet long. And I'm like, that would be pretty sweet having that. But we got this one. We're good. Yeah. So that, I mean, that's not really a what you're playing, but I just want to show that off. We've been playing with our kids with it, like a Where's Waldo style game, where we'd be like, where is this character, or can you find this person? And today my son goes, Dad, can you find the blue person with a sword? Actually, no, it was blue person with a gun. And there's surprisingly a lot of blue characters with guns.
I can think of Zero Suit Samus.
Mega Man.
Oh, Mega Man, yeah.
Falco. Captain Falcon. And
does Captain Falcon have a gun?
I think he does. It's like holstered on the side. There were so many.
Why?
And then we just started realizing how many blue characters there are. Lucario, Marth, Lucinda, Roy is even wearing blue in this game. And gosh,
Captain Falcon is apparently a bounty hunter. I thought he was like A racer. What?
Wii Fit Trainer is wearing blue. Steve from Minecraft is wearing blue. There are a ton of characters dressed in blue. So yeah, we're learning all sorts of things we didn't know about Smash Bros. Just from having this poster. Our lives, our knowledge on Super Smash Bros. Is increasing just from having this. So there you go. Yeah. So that's basically it for me. I didn't have a whole lot of time to game this week. Those are
Yeah,
what I've been playing.
I played some. I got Trine 3, the Artifacts of Power, since I played the first two with a friend and really enjoyed them. And this one they brought it into the third dimension, but I feel like it's not quite as good in 3D as it was in 2D. But
Yeah.
still
Okay.
pretty good. Enjoying it.
All right.
So I played that once, and then of course I had to try out Metroid Dread, the boss rush. So I played through the normal boss rush, and I found out if you die, they let you just restart from that boss, and they like add a time penalty to how long it took you. But they also have a survival rush where you have 5 minutes to make it as far as you can through all the bosses. But every boss you beat gives you 30 seconds, and if you beat them without taking damage, you get an extra 30 seconds. So that's pretty fun. And I found out it actually loops at the end and you start over again, except you only get 20 seconds for beating a boss.
Wait. So there's no end,
So
or do
there's
you have to
no
do
end.
this, or you have to do the second loop, and then it ends?
I think it just goes on forever. I don't, I mean, I definitely did not make it through the second loop. I barely made it into the first loop.
Wait. So hold on. Hold on. So how does that work? Because I thought it was going for the best time.
Well, the regular mode is for the best time, but survival is how many bosses you can beat in a limited time.
Oh, okay. That's
And then,
cool. There's a
I,
lot more to it than I thought then.
yeah.
Nice.
I wonder how good people will get for that because I barely made it into the second loop and then had to fight like Kraid again, and he's like the longest boss to fight if things don't go right.
Yeah, Kraid takes forever.
But I haven't tried the Dread Rush though because I haven't beat Dread mode yet.
Do you have all your abilities?
You have the abilities you should have if you haven't done any sequence breaking on a boss.
Yeah, because some of them had sequence breaking built in though, like Kraid.
Yeah, Kraid. So yeah, Kraid you don't have.
The
Actually, I don't
ability
know if
to
I ever tried, but I
to
assume you don't have the power, the morph bomb, power bomb, whatever
yeah,
it's called.
that would make sense. That would make sense. Well, nice. Anything else that you're playing?
No, I think that was about it. Besides, I guess, kind of mentioned Dig Dug 2, played for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that, you got to get to level 12. I think you would actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just like an arcadey quick. It was pretty quick to get there too because it's pretty easy up till that
Problem
point.
was I remember enjoying Dig Dug so much, so I started playing this and I was like, this isn't as good.
No, it's not the
But
same game at all.
yeah,
But they
it's
should bring
totally
Dig Dug
different.
back. Dig Dug as a character should come back. What would that look?
Yeah, Dig
A
Dug
modern,
for
a
next
3D,
Smash Ultimate.
a modern 3D Dig Dug. Be kind of horrifying, actually.
Yeah, that could definitely be like an M game, depending on how far they took it.
Maybe that's why he hasn't come back. Namco's like, probably not. Well, that's all we have in what you're playing. So let's move to the next segment of our show and let's talk some Nintendo news. We've actually got quite a bit of news to talk about this week. I'm surprised how much we've got to talk about. Let's talk about a big one first, though. Breath of the Wild modders have gotten multiplayer working in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It has been teased on YouTuber Point Crow's channel, and with a note saying that they would have more content covering with that mod in place coming in the summer. So that is pretty exciting. I don't know if that will be a mod available to the public or how all that works, because Nintendo isn't exactly in favor of those sorts of things.
Yeah. I'm curious
But
how this whole situation will play out.
well, I've been watching a lot of Mario Odyssey multiplayer. There's a modder working with YouTuber Small Ant and a bunch of other YouTubers, and they do Mario Odyssey hide and seek. And those haven't been taken down by Nintendo. I don't think the mod is for sale, and so I don't think Nintendo can actually do anything to those videos because there's not really a way to they're not like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the legality behind it, but those haven't been taken off, and I assume Breath of the Wild would be in the same sort of boat. But it just begs the question, why don't they have that? Because if these people can do it, why can't Nintendo do it? Come on. I would
I
love
mean,
Mario
they
Odyssey.
could do it.
I would love Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild to have multiplayer. Maybe we'll get that in Breath of the Wild too. That would be
Maybe
that would be sick.
you're just hoping.
I yeah. There's also a mod community out there for Ocarina of Time multiplayer, which our friend has mentioned. We should play that sometime. And I think that would be really cool. Yeah, so Breath of the Wild multiplayer. That's huge in my opinion because it's like the greatest video game of all time. So having the addition of multiplayer could give that game completely new life and
Especially if it has some friendly fire.
some PvP, some player
Yeah.
versus player. Yeah. So stay tuned. Check out Point Crow and his channel, which will be that they'll be doing that content come the summertime. I don't know exactly when. Point Crow, if you need any collaborators, hit us up. Hit us up. We love us some Breath of the Wild. And besides that, moving on to the next news item, we've got Azumarill. Am I pronouncing that right? Azumarill
And that sounded pretty good. I don't actually know exactly how it's pronounced, but that sounded good to me.
was added as a playable character in Pokemon Unite. They're an all-arounder with melee. All-arounder
Melee style.
melee style. Yeah, I
It's
typed that
pretty
out
good
weird.
because I feel like I can't remember, I feel like they've added in like so many attackers, and they've added in a lot of like tanks now, it seems like, but it seems like there'd only been like 3 all-arounders for the longest time.
Yeah, Azumarill is a fine Pokemon. It's like off-brand Pikachu. It's like
Suppose.
very similar style. uh, was Azumarill? That was a Gen 2, I believe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Are you used to play Pokemon Unite?
I have not played in months.
In months.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. It's a lot of these games it's like that go so long. We'll have these I'm talking games like Rocket League, Fortnite, Pokemon Unite, just continuous development games. I feel like I have phases, and sometimes I'll be in it for a long time. Like I was playing Fortnite for a long time consistently, and then just sort of fell off last chapter and came back for stints and then fell off again and then came back and then fell off. Minecraft, same kind of story for me. And maybe it's because
Yeah.
I just play it way too much and then
Then you
get
get
burned out
burned
on it.
out.
Pokemon Unite, I just never really got into myself. But I know you did, and I feel like yours is more a story of burnout. Like I'm
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
for.
Well, yeah, I ended up playing quite a bit, then kind of got burned out. And then a friend started playing. I was like, we should play this. So then I played like once a week with him for a while. But then they also got burned out.
Yeah. So I don't know how to prevent that. I don't know if there really is a way to prevent that because games tend to just be sort of repetitive. I think Fortnite probably overcame that the most out of anything because they changed so much. I mean, it still stays a third person shooter, but I mean, like this time they got rid of building for a little bit.
Yeah, and that's permanent mode now. They have
Yeah.
tanks.
The map changes like crazy. They've got huge events going. They seem like they're the closest to getting that down, but even still, I've got burnout and haven't really touched it too much. But oh well. Next news item, we've got new point rewards for NSO, Splatoon 2, and Animal Crossing. And I think those might actually have swapped even as we start recording this because Kirby was just added as well. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. So you can get Kirby and the Forgotten Lands icons for your profile on Nintendo Switch Online.
And I just found out to get the backgrounds, you have to have like redeemed your platinum points for a character first.
Yes, because you can't use the backgrounds with anything besides.
Can you only use them with those characters? Oh man, I'd been too lazy to actually try them out, but I thought they were just like mix and match anything.
I know. Why not?
That's a little disappointing.
I don't understand why they can't. Like, that makes no sense to me. They're all Nintendo IP. They own all of them. They're like, oh, no, you can't be putting Kirby over here in a Mario background. Get that out of here. Not like we do that in every Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Like,
that's kind of disappointing. Yeah, I'm like, wow, these are cool, and I like collect them all, but then I've never even tried it yet. So
I want to put my Mii on one of those backgrounds. Like, I don't know why they who knows? They want to make sure that you're keeping. They want to make sure you match. All right. They don't want you to go out. They don't want you to go out dressed with clashing colors. They want you to have a nice matching outfit. It's like your mom picking out what you wear as a kid. Yeah. These change too often for me to keep up with. So I've been trying to mention them on the show
for me to get all.
But I'll just be picking up the ones I like. Animal Crossing gets new ones every month for all of the villagers who have birthdays that month. So by next year, we'll have like every Animal Crossing.
Each month.
We'll have had every Animal Crossing character there is. All right. As part of this, there's also a system update that includes a new feature. Unclaimed platinum points earned from completing Nintendo Switch Online missions on your Nintendo Switch system will now generate notifications. And I don't know if that's turned on by default. You may want to go and check to make sure it is on, if you want it on, or off if you would prefer not to have that. But it will send you a notification saying, hey, go claim these points. And there you go.
Just nice. Because I've been forgetting about them for a while.
Yeah. I have like just no transitions today. I've been forgetting about them for a while. Speaking of forgetting about them, and the Forgotten Land, and then going from that to Kirby. News on Kirby. We're reaching for transitions this week. The 8-bit band. You're like, wait, what does that have to do with Kirby? Kirby won a Grammy. That is right. The 8-bit band wins a Grammy for their arrangement of Meta Knight's Revenge. That is sick. That is a great song, and it's a pretty good arrangement. So yeah, it won a Grammy for best instrumental or a cappella cover of a song.
Pretty cool.
And besides that, we already talked about Boss Rush mode added to Metroid Dread, but that's been added. So go check out Boss Rush mode in Metroid Dread. And
it's pretty fun. And it lets you can also just practice against any boss you want.
Oh.
So you don't have to just
There's a lot more to this than I thought there would be. I thought this was going to be like a single mode. Like, there you go.
I was able to practice against the Experiment X or Z57 or whatever to get a Spine Shark kill method. Shine Spark kill method, which will make my Dread Runner a lot easier. So that was really nice. It was good timing because I should be coming up on that boss pretty soon in my game.
That is nice. Yeah, you're really going for a hole-in-one with that one. And speaking of, Mario Golf is coming to NSO April 15th. It's the first Mario Golf game coming to N64 online. And I will definitely be trying this one out because as a Mario Golf Super Rush fan. I want to see where the series got its roots. I really enjoyed Mario Golf, and I still play it pretty. I hop on to get the monthly costumes when I remember.
Yeah. Is there like a Yoshi monthly thing going on? Or
Might
is that
be.
last month?
I'm not sure. That might be this month. I don't know what
Or it
is
might
going
not
on
even
right
be
now.
any month. I might have
My,
just
my,
made that up for all I know.
I just need to make sure that I get the Waluigi alternate costume whenever
That'll be
that
the one you
happens.
forget.
I know it will. It's like I've got to go in and check.
Or they'll just never do them.
That's true. Waluigi. That would be on brand for Nintendo treating Waluigi. Yeah, you get no alternate costume. Even though they like gave Mario his regular Mario outfit as an alt that you could get. And I think they did the same for Luigi. But if they don't do Wario and Waluigi, we riot, right? Let's
You
take
can
it to
riot.
the streets. Although he is in a nice fedora. He's a good. He's got a
I
good
think
costume in that game.
their costumes in the game are better than their originals when you're
Yeah.
golfing, at least.
Nidfriendo in chat says, "Wasn't Shy Guys last month?" Yes, I did get Shy Guys
Was
because
that last month? I thought he was like the first month.
Green Shy Guy is awesome. That's my go-to whenever I need to play as a Shy Guy, which is in Mario Kart. Because I don't play as Waluigi in Mario Kart because I'm not a fan of the heavy characters. I like the light characters for their increased agility and speed.
Yeah, for when people hit you with 5 red shells in a row.
And you can just get back up and go. Waluigi can't do that. But Waluigi can ram people off the track. So you win some, you lose some. That's what we have for the news this week. I am most out of all these news items. I'm most excited at the prospect of multiplayer in Breath of the Wild. I don't know. That just makes me really hype. And I am. We talked about this on a previous episode, I believe, where there was like he put out a Point Crow put out a bounty. It's like whoever gets this much money. And I think that they will also get, fame, fortune, and glory in the YouTube
They'll
space.
be remembered forever.
Yeah,
for a couple months at least.
Hopefully, those hardworking modders can. I don't want you don't want them to like make money off the game because that is legally not good. I don't want them to get into legal trouble. I hope that they get
their effort
something
becomes worth it.
Yeah, the effort is worthwhile because it is very cool and that's really neat of them to have spent all that time putting that together. That's my thoughts on that. Well, Micah, this week we don't have any rumors, so we're just gonna breeze right over the rumor mill, give those rumor Pikmin a rest, and let's head over to the community corner. And in today's community corner, we've got a bunch of questions from the community. If you want to submit a question to us, you can follow us on our many social media channels or just join up our Discord. Links to all that are in the description of the show. We'll shout it out at the end again, remind you. We got questions from all over this week. We got questions from Discord. We got a question from YouTube. Question in the YouTube comments. And if there's time, I want to read a comment that we got on a video that I doubt you have seen, but they specifically address your a concern you had. So yeah, well, that's a little tease to what's to come. But first, let's ask a question from Maddie Beth, who asks, "What do you think of Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga?" I'm assuming this is the Skywalker Saga, the complete, because I think the Complete Saga was 1 through 6. They originally had one called the Complete Saga. I'm assuming you're talking about the new one. I'm assuming. I liked the other one as well. This one, Micah, what do you think? How are you enjoying this game?
I'm really glad for people who like Lego Star Wars games and have purchased this.
Do you like Lego Star Wars games?
I am not particularly a fan of Lego Star Wars.
Okay.
I've played one, and my friend was like, "Wow, this game is awesome! It's so good." And then we like played it. I was like, "This game is just okay."
I
Maybe they hadn't talked it up so much.
I have decided to pass on picking this one up for the time being. It may be one I pick up in the future. It'll probably go on sale at some point, I think, and maybe I'll pick it up on a
Yeah.
sale. It looks really good, but I'm just overloaded with games, and games that aren't like top tier wants for me are probably going to get pushed to the wayside. And so this one just didn't make the cut, you know. Not every game gets in. There's too many good games. But we
Yeah.
were going to actually have on the show our buddy, fellow streamer Camden Kilby, who is extremely hyped for this game. Couldn't make it tonight, so we'll see if we can get him for a future episode to talk about Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. He is playing through it right now over on his streams, and it looks really good. It is a gorgeous game. Like, you wouldn't think like a Lego game to be
As
like,
gorgeous as Legos can get.
yeah, I don't know. Like, you wouldn't think like, oh, it's a Lego game. Like, that's going to be a really beautiful game. Like, you would think games like Breath of the Wild or Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, or like those types of games, but they really made these very pretty.
I
They
gotta
don't,
look up some gameplay trailers of this now or something.
yeah,
The floor looks very shiny.
yeah. They got a lot of that ray tracing. You know, all them lights. Got to ray trace those Legos.
Wow, this is a really nice picture. I don't know if this is actually in game though.
Mostly Martinez in chat says it's a good time to be a gamer with so many good games. Amen. That is so true. There's just so many good games to be playing. Like, we are not for want. We're not in a famine. This isn't the Wii U we're talking about here. We're talking about a flood, a feast of all sorts of games. I got really, yeah, I got really into that. Yeah. So next question. I that didn't really answer Maddie Beth's question. I'm sorry that we didn't buy it.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it since I haven't played it. Or like
I think
any
it
other
looks
Star
really
Wars
good,
Lego
but it
game.
hasn't quite hit the like I gotta buy it. And I've actually heard it's semi-short, so I don't know. Not that short games are bad, but
Yeah, you're just talking about how you have too many games to play.
I know. Yeah,
and you
wait a
need
second.
shorter
Maybe I need to be
games.
rethinking everything. So yeah, look forward to future thoughts on that one as we potentially get it and as we can get a guest that has played it. Next question comes from Chris HL94. Micah, Andros, what do you guys think about this game, Hockey Heroes, possibly coming to the Nintendo Switch?
I added in that Hockey Heroes part because he also had like a link attached.
Yeah, and it was the it's an indie developed hockey game.
It's about to enter early access, I think.
Yeah, and they want to bring it to Switch. There's actually some good dialogue going on Twitter because Chris HL94, I don't know if you could tell, but based off his username, he's a big fan of NHL 94.
Oh, I've heard. Maybe just once or twice.
And he posted about this game, and this indie dev was like, "Yeah, I'm making a game that will be." There's not really a hockey game on the Switch. That's kind of weird. You know, I mean, I'm not at all interested in playing any hockey games.
I was like, hockey games might be like my least favorite sports games, and I'm not really big into sports games.
But it still is weird that they're not there.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I'm definitely not into sports game. But so what do we think about this game? Chris, I got to be honest, I could care less. No, I'm just
you.
I actually am pretty excited that an indie dev is taking matters into his own hands because NHL 94 is not coming. Thanks, EA. Thanks for your absolute ridiculous decision to not support the Switch. Like, I mean, power to you. You're losing money. That's all I'll say on that. So I don't know. Like, I threw out like, maybe if they added it to Nintendo Switch Sports, I would definitely be into it then.
Or if there was Mario.
And Chris is like, well, how about Mario Hockey with power ups like strikers? That'd be pretty cool. I'd play that for sure. I think that's what I would get. I mean, you throw Mario into it and I'll buy it. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. It seems to have some of the more old school like NFL Blitz 2000 vibe to it. They had like a fight bar that when that gets filled up, I'm not quite sure how that happens, but then the people just started duking it out in like a boxing ring that popped up.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
watch the trailer. I should have
how
watched the
dare
trailer.
you?
I know.
Yeah, it is as far as hockey games go, it looks pretty good to me.
I
And
like that.
that's like
Get,
a pre-early access build, I think it was. So
getting
I'll keep an eye on it.
that NFL Blitz 2000 energy. Maybe,
Oh yeah.
eh, yeah. If that's coming to Switch, we should keep an eye on that one because for Chris, we'll do it. We'll play it just for you, Chris. Thanks for submitting the question.
All they need to add
if you
is
haven't
having
if you haven't clicked away from
after
me,
we're like,
just
we don't care.
I do not care. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
they
man,
just need to add people being on fire to that game. That was like the best of those old school games.
he's on fire.
Fire. And then the NFL Blitz would like jump on your back and you just keep carrying them. I think in NBA
Yeah.
Jam or Hang Time, I
Oh,
can't remember
we need
which one.
more.
You could do
We
like
just
using.
need more games like that. Like, no, we don't need this simulation sports. Like, you
Yeah,
could
I
go
don't want it
watch
more
that.
like.
No, we need it more. This is
I
a
need
video
a
game.
flair to the
Embrace the
sports.
platform you are on and make it a video game. That's for
Exactly.
sure.
Those are my thoughts as well.
Thanks so much for the question, Chris HL94. Next question here comes from Solo Something. What do you see being the next step for Switch games with Unreal Engine 5's release?
So yeah, Andros, what do you think about that?
I missed this presentation. I do know that they announced a new Tomb Raider, and there was another one that was popular, but I don't remember what. They're like, yeah, it's all going to be on Unreal Engine 5. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and they have I think path tracing, which is new, and it's supposedly a much more powerful and efficient, I believe, method of ray tracing.
Yeah, because ray tracing eats computational power. You're sacrificing frames usually.
Yeah. So I mean, if it's much more efficient and doesn't use as much power, then I mean, you could bring some nicer looking games to the Nintendo Switch. But
And
it would be those games I think would still be kind of a ways out.
I want to say that Unreal has really good mobile support. And so if you're making a game on other consoles that is maybe graphically heavy, but you're planning to you want to downgrade it. You want to make it
Graphically downgrade, kind of.
graphically downgraded. It will be a lot easier to make it more Switch friendly. I do think that we could see in the future. I don't know. I'm not sure. There has been a lot of Unreal support on the Switch. So I hope that we see more games that have this ability to scale and be on any platform, because we're kind of in this weird spot of cross generational consoles where PlayStation 5s are still impossible to find. And so a lot of games are coming out for both PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And so like a slightly downgraded version for the previous generations, because those consoles are all still being supported very actively due to chip shortages on the new systems. And with that sort of thing happening, we're seeing less boundary pushes on the graphics and more on just gameplay in general. So I'm hoping that Unreal Engine 5 isn't necessarily just to push the boundaries of what can be done, but to make what was done previously more efficient.
Easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then we'll see more done with the tech. Let's go backwards in time to talk about some examples here. Super Mario Bros on the NES and Super Mario Bros 3 are on the same system. Those look like completely different generations of games, right? And I would love to see as we're in a longer generation maximizing the systems that they're built on. A lot of people, I hear it. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I hear a lot of people talk about like the Switch needs an upgrade. They need to upgrade it, and I don't think so. I think that we can instead find ways to maximize what we have over pushing for upgrades, because upgrades are going to be expensive, and Nintendo wants to keep their systems at a lower price.
Yeah.
They
I like
they
keep the Nintendo Switch alive as long as possible so I don't have to buy a new console.
yeah. The Nintendo Switch started with old hardware, and it was putting out some of the greatest games ever made. You get Breath of the Wild, you got Mario Odyssey. Um, People say Xenoblade 2. There's a whole bunch that you're like, how do they do it? And I hope we just continue to see more of that as time goes on for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean, I
believe it
think those
needs an
are
upgrade.
perfectly good looking games.
Yep. That being said, I wouldn't mind getting an upgrade.
Yeah.
I bought an OLED. I liked the slight increase to what I got, but I do think that there's still some life here. Yeah. Thank you so much for the question. So something got us into some good philosophical debate on the future of gaming. Hopefully that answers your question. You want to read the next question, Micah?
Yes. Brian Eck says, I missed, or asks, I guess. I missed out on the, well, kind of says and then asks, but I'll just read it. Brian Eck says, I missed out on the 3DS era, and recently in 2021, I picked up a 3DS XL with a few games. Before the 3DS eShop closes down, what games would you recommend? Preferably RPGs.
Oh boy, I should have done some
All right,
research.
I was like, and I think I'll mostly throw this over to you since I never had a 3DS.
Yeah. So 3DS RPGs. I personally, I didn't play a ton of RPGs on the 3DS, and I haven't played a ton of RPGs in general.
I mean,
It's
there's
not
Fire Emblem Awakening. Definitely not just Googling 3DS RPGs here. I've heard good things about that.
actually Fire Emblem Awakening is very good. I didn't play a ton because I was using a borrowed game, but I enjoyed what I played. So if you're into Fire Emblem and that tactics RPG style, if you're a Pokemon fan, I don't know if that counts as an RPG. I really enjoyed Pokemon Sun and Moon. That one got me back into the series a bit, where I had fallen off. I always recommend Kid Icarus Uprising. It's not really an RPG. It's just the best game.
I knew you'd have to recommend that.
I have to. It's the best game on the 3DS. But
And
like I said in our like big coverage of it, Brian, that one, it has a control scheme that really is a turn away for a lot of people. So that's my one caveat. But if you could get beyond that, if you like it like I did, like you don't mind the control scheme, then it is such a great game. Such a fantastic game.
yeah, I mean, I played Mario and Luigi. I think it was Bowser's Inside Story on the DS, and they have some, at least one, I think, for the 3DS, and I enjoyed those. But those are maybe a little light on the RPG mechanics.
Now, the 3DS is backwards compatible, Micah. So, do you have any DS ones you'd like to recommend? I know you've got some of those.
I don't know if I've. I mean, I got Golden Sun. What was it Dark Dawn?
Was there a 3DS Golden Sun?
Don't think so. I think it was just for the DS. They had the Dark Dawn or whatever it was called, which I enjoyed, but I think it was my least favorite of the Golden Sun games. Mostly because they just had areas that once you passed, you couldn't go back to. Which in the first two, you could explore the whole world again, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Like,
man.
trying to look at my wall of DS games.
Also forgot about Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Those are great. Great remakes. We got in chat from Ninfrendo says
Oh,
Dragon Quest. There were several Dragon Quest games.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. That would have been awesome on the 3DS with 3D. That would have been super cool.
Yeah, well, like you said, I don't know if Pokemon really counts, but Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver remakes of the best Pokemon game ever made.
That is the best Pokemon game ever made, in my opinion. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Although Legends Arceus may be beating that out for me. It's pretty
I
good.
don't know if I can really compare them because they're like
So
so
different.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would have recommended in the past Kingdom Hearts 3D. I actually really enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3D, but it's now available in better ways to play. So you can buy that in like new collections. I have heard great things about Ever Oasis. That one was heavily promoted by Nintendo at the time. And there's also Bravely Second, which is different than Bravely Default 1 and Bravely Default 2. But it is in the same world ish. So there you go. I hope that's enough recommendations there. Can I recommend non-RPGs? I mean, I already did with Kid Icarus. I'll also recommend Card Jockey, I think is what it's called. Am I remembering that correctly? Pocket Card Jockey. Gosh, I was like, I'm missing a word. Pocket Card Jockey. That one is apparently amazing. I am planning to pick that one up. I have not, but I've heard nothing but good things. So, yeah. The 3DS has an amazing library of games. I just can't remember any off the top of my head. My brain is so stuffed with games to play on Switch. I haven't really given it enough thought. Hope that answers your question, Brian. Micah's disappointment over here. He didn't get a 3DS. You should, while it's still available. Oh, we got to recommend Photo Dojo.
Is that an RPG though?
No, but I'm gonna recommend it
Okay.
anyways. Is that an RPG? No, that's a side-scrolling beat 'em up where you are the main character. Oh, speaking of Drawn to Life, that's another DS one. I really recommend Drawn to Life. One of my favorite DS games. So good. I love the backwards compatibility of the 3DS and the DS. I wish that it could also play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. Like that functionality existed somewhat, but they just took it out. Like I wish they just kept that up. Could you imagine? The 3DS would be the ultimate gaming system if it could play DS and Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color or Game Boy games all on one system.
Yeah, they just need to come out with a new system that can do that.
Yeah, I believe the Retro Pocket, the Retroid Pocket, can do all of those. Maybe not 3DS and DS. No, definitely not. But it can play like a lot of the other old school ones. Like, what was the Sega handheld called? I am blanking on everything tonight.
I actually had it, but it never worked.
Classic Sega.
We've had it for we played it for like a teensy bit. I don't remember.
Speaking of which, I didn't even talk about how my week's been. It's been an exciting week for me. We went and saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie yesterday. That was fun. It's a fun movie. I won't talk about it too much because I want to spoil it for anybody. But stay for after the credits, people. Actually, just the first credits, not the second credits. There's that like post-credit scene that's at the end of every Marvel movie. Sonic's following suit. It was really good. If you like Sonic, you're gonna like all the references. But at the same time, it was really bad. It kind of had that Sonic energy. You know what I'm saying? So a Sonic game where I'm not really playing it for the story. You're playing it because it's got Sonic in it and that Sonic flair. They really okay. I'll talk a little bit about it. This is the kind of movie where they throw a million jokes and just hope some of them stick. Like they're just it's just joke after joke after joke.
I mean, if they make enough jokes, you'll laugh at least one of them.
And that's what happened. Yeah, I found some of the jokes to be very funny, and then the rest were like, all right.
You tried.
There's some like a little bit of like, okay. They tried their best, but it was just like a movie where you sort of have to shut off the brain. And
you just gotta allow yourself to enjoy it.
Yeah, suspend the disbelief a lot because there's a lot of convenient plot, and you're gonna have a great time. But if you're coming in, you're gonna hyperanalyze it. Just don't. Like critics are probably gonna pan this movie, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. My kids loved it, and I was just having a good time in there. So it was very 90s energy. Yeah. But let me say that the post-credit scene, the people in our theater went crazy. Specifically one guy. He was like, "Oh yeah!" He was so pumped. And he might have been one of the only people there that didn't have kids with him.
Yeah, he's one of the true Sonic fans.
I was like, I'm here with you in spirit, my guy, because I would have gone and seen that movie without my kids. But my kids really wanted to see it, and they had a good time. Don't bring a 10-month-old to the movie theater. That's my life advice. He was so happy and screaming, just like, bah, bah! We're like, oh my goodness. So
I guess that's kind of better than sad and screaming.
Yeah, he had to be taken to the back and calmed down.
He's just
I'm
too
excited.
good of a movie.
He was just having such a good time. Man. All right.
Like the handhelds for the Sega Genesis was called the Sega Genesis Nomad.
What? Is that real? I don't remember. I was like, I'm going to remember this right away.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't remember having any name. I just remember it being like the Sega Genesis handheld or something.
Maybe that's what I thought it was too. I'm looking at pictures of it. The Genesis Ultimate.
That's like a new one.
A Game Gear. That is what I was thinking. How could I forget this? Yeah, we're all over the place tonight.
Yeah, they got a couple
I feel like
versions.
Something's missing, and it might just be my brain cells tonight. That's what's missing. That is all we've got for the community questions. Brian submitted that question over on YouTube, so thanks for leaving a comment on our YouTube channel. We love to see it. We love these comments. Speaking of, Micah, there is a comment on one of our latest videos, which is
I forgot about this comment you teased.
Yeah, ranking the Nintendo characters as spouses. Check out our last episode if you missed that. It was a fun conversation. It was not weird, so don't be afraid of weird discussion.
It was maybe a teensy bit weird.
I don't think so. Maybe this part that we're about to address here, because this comment here says, as with Mega Man, if Wii Fit trainers have human level intelligence, I would consider them dateable, like any Anthro character, like Isabelle and Fox. You are dating who they are, not what they look like. Isabelle is a dog, but take that away, and she's a hardworking and loyal girl and tries to help with advice, and even quirky/silly at times, though she can get embarrassed by that. So, androids and robots that show to have a human level of intelligence is fair game as well.
But they admit they're androids.
Thank you.
They admit they're androids.
No, they didn't admit. Listen to this. if the Wii Fit trainers have human level intelligence. Okay, wait.
Cut to the end.
Oh, yeah. Let me come here. So androids and robots that show to have human level of intelligence is fair game as well. I didn't finish. I don't feel the trainers are androids, and nowhere has it been confirmed that they are. If Nintendo says they are, they are. But regardless, if they are not, they still have human intelligence and awareness of self.
But the thing is, I don't think they do have human levels of intelligence. Would you say Siri and Alexa have human levels of intelligence?
I do.
Because they talk about more than the Wii Fit trainer.
If
they're more human to me than the Wii Fit trainer.
I
just saying.
Real sneakers. I side with you. I feel like Wii Fit trainer got a little bit shafted by a certain someone here. We're not going to name names, but
they sound like a genius, whoever they are.
Sound like a genius.
I'd just like to point out this comment by Ninfrendo saying that Wii Fit trainers seem more like mannequins brought to life, and I accept that as an alternate to them being androids.
But do they have human intelligence? I think they do. I'm kind of with real sneakers on this one.
You can't know until they have like non-scripted workout speech. Every time you interact with them, it seems like it's just they're reading from a script.
How about the times where you face off in a competition against them? Did you ever have those where it's like,
I don't recall that.
Beat the train? Yeah, you see, this is Micah didn't actually
because they're horrifying, and I blocked them from my memory.
Micah didn't actually play this game, so let's just throw that out.
Are you talking about Wii Fit? You mean the game with a balance board?
Yeah, Micah. Listen, you might have had the board. That didn't.
You mean this balance board right here? That's next to my computer. Interesting. Wow, look how well worn and used this looks. It's actually really hard to see.
Yeah.
It's pretty dirty from all the feet.
So in the challenge mode, they challenge you to like, can you do more than me? And I always thought those were funny because they go and they are like real people at that point. And they once you get to a certain amount of reps, they're like 50, and they
but is it the same amount every time practically?
I don't think so. I think they get stronger each challenge, but it doesn't say exactly how many you've got. It's fun. I want to bust out Wii Fit again. Play some more Wii Fit. I always enjoyed in Super Smash Bros. Their perfectly inhuman everything.
Interesting. Interesting how you're describing them now.
Yeah, that like they run with perfect form and
what did you say? An inhuman running form, you'd say then?
My God, listen, being inhuman doesn't make you not dateable. This whole list,
it kind of makes you not human, which is my whole point.
Yeah, that was a point against them, but then you also agreed with me to rank Isabelle as S tier. So I don't know. And
that's also because you really wanted to.
Also, we put Pyra up there, and she's a sword. I don't know. I feel like the lines were very blurred on what is okay.
Pyra's more human than Wii Fit trainer, and I'll die on that hill.
Okay. They had a lot of comments as well on other characters, like Bayonetta's hair is magical and enchanted, so maybe it doesn't shed.
I mean, that's a good point.
It could be. Also felt like we maybe ranked Mario too low because it's not really his fault that Peach won't commit, but it never really is explicitly stated that Peach isn't the one that wants to commit. Just saying. Also, he doesn't communicate. That's why we ranked him low. And you know what? He's got an S tier brother, and if you can't measure up to your little brother, that's your own problem, right, Mario? All right. We didn't rank Waluigi on this list. Where I don't know where we would have put him. We're not going to talk about that here.
Low for sure.
Oh, he would have been high for me, man. Tall, lean, handsome. SpongeBob quote there. We're not getting into this though. We're not ranking spouses. tonight we are ranking Legend of Zelda NPCs. So, Micah, what do you say we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Here's some of the rules that we have for this. NPCs, meaning characters that you do not play as. We are also removing Zelda, Ganondorf, and partner characters like Navi, Midna, Tattle.
All the other ones.
That one, the Cap from Minish Cap.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name? Cap. Cappy.
Cappy. Cappy original.
The original Cap. Let's get to the actual ranking list here with the Legend of Zelda NPCs. And this is taken from across all Legend of Zelda games. Our top 10. Starting with number 10. Micah, what do you got for number 10?
Number 10. I didn't actually order these yet, so I'm just listening to my heart as time goes on. But Marathon Man from Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah. And by extension, Mailman in Majora's Mask, who's like the same character.
Same, yeah.
That's a good one. Why have him on the list?
Why have him on the list?
Yeah, why do you have him?
Because you can race him and he's awesome.
And isn't he
back
also,
in the day, you'd always think it was possible to beat him.
Isn't it also confirmed that he is the Pianta Man in Mario Sunshine?
What?
Yeah, the guy that you race in Mario Sunshine.
I don't even remember racing Mario Sunshine, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a Pianta that is clearly somebody wearing a Pianta mask.
What?
You don't remember this?
I don't remember that.
Well, I'm not sure if it's like actual connected lore that he is the same guy, but he looks very similar, and I think that is hilarious. What a little Easter egg. Are you Googling it?
Though. I am Googling it.
Yeah, look it up.
Got an ad in the way right now, though.
Yeah. And number 10 for me is Hudson from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I think Hudson's a fun character, but really it's his character development that you love to see. Hudson is the one that initiates the Terrytown quest.
This right now.
Oh, you're Googling Hudson's the one that initiates the Terrytown quest. He works for Bolson and Bolson Construction Company and is sent out to start a village and requires everybody in the village have their name end with son.
Yep.
And you travel the world looking for people to recruit to join the village and also bringing him materials to make the village. And it is one of the most rewarding quests ever. I did not do it in my original playthrough. I actually only did it fairly recently. Was it last year or the year before? And I loved it. At the end, there's a wedding. Hudson gets married, and you just like, you cry. Tears of joy at how that quest ends. What a good story that they threw in there. I would have loved to see more to it, honestly. That's my number 10.
Yeah, maybe with Breath of the Wild 2, you can build an even bigger town.
That would be so cool. Hudson has like also just a ridiculous haircut, which I love. It's like
so
huge
tall.
head. Yeah.
It's like a tall bowl cut or something.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your number 9?
My number 9. Gotta go with Link.
Wait. Hold on, Mike. I'm sorry to interrupt here. Datsun in chat points out that he could live in Terrytown because Dat's son.
Oh yeah, I mean, does it count?
That's what they all drive. Actually, they all drive Datsun cars. Okay, go ahead. Link the pig.
Yeah, Link the pig from Wind Waker.
Okay, all right.
That's right. And you mentioned that you're like Link the pig. I don't even remember that, and that was already on my list.
Yeah, I was going through before the show, like trying to find characters to add. That's funny. What? So what? Why? I need to know.
It's a massive pig, and I'm pretty sure you carry you can carry him around to dig in spots to get treasures
Wait, is this
on
the
the
pig?
island.
Wait, is this the pig that ate the other pigs? What? Wait,
I don't know if there's proof that he ate the other
where did
pigs.
the other pigs go?
Maybe the people ate the other pigs.
He's huge. I
Yeah, it's that big.
I forgot about that guy. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Well, that's your number 9. My number 9 is Gapora, not the owl, but the headmaster and Zelda's dad in Skyward Sword. But he looks like the owl. You
Yeah,
recognize him right away. You're like, wait a second, why does this guy look so familiar? Headmaster Gapora. He's just a funny character, and I got a kick out of his comedic timing. And I'm pretty sure at one point you're trying to find a heart piece or something, and the bathing room is locked, and there's someone outside like, man, I've been trying to get in here all night, and someone's just in there with the door locked, has been in there all night. And you can actually sort of see who it is in there, and it is a Gapora in like a hot tub, and he's just living his best life. Does that every night. It's like, all right. Makes me wonder. So yeah, I thought that was a fun character, and also cameo to the owl from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Number 8.
although this one I did change a little bit when we were talking. Beetle's assistant.
Yeah, Beetle's assistant. Let's
Yep,
go.
I had Beetle, and then you reminded me about Beetle's assistant, which is, spoiler alert, also Beetle with a helmet.
just wearing a helmet. Beetle is one of the greatest characters ever created for a game, and I love how he doesn't quite fit the art style. Like, he looks very different than everybody else because
He's he's from some far off land, which is why he has all these great things to sell.
he sort of looks like a Muppet. Does he look like a Muppet to you?
Not gonna lie, that has never crossed my mind.
but you kind of see it, right? I don't know. I feel like he could make.
I gotta refresh my memories. Look at some like pictures of him right now.
They could make a Beetle Muppet, and it would be very convincing, I think. Yeah, he's awesome. He's great in Breath of the Wild. He's in every game he shows up in. He's also in Cadence of Hyrule as a shopkeeper, so that's cool. My number 8 is someone who should have just as many recurring spots as Beetle, and that's Tingle. Tingle is awesome. I'm going to specifically say the Wind Waker version of Tingle, I think, might be my favorite.
Just the dude who loves fairies.
Yeah. Yeah. And also steals things and ends up in prison.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you had to rescue him from prison.
And also has an island where he has fellow Tingles that are named Ankle, Knuckle, and David Jr. So I mean, how much better can it get than that?
I mean, that's just proof that Wind Waker is the second best Legend of Zelda.
That's just proof that Tingle is awesome. That's what it is. And recently playing through Majora's Mask, which I'm still playing through, Tingle is amazing in Majora's Mask. Kind of a weird render, though. He's slightly horrifying looking in that game, but his character's so great. Kui Limpa! It's like, what? I just love that they just have this weirdo in here, and yeah, I want him in future games. You know, they had a character that was sort of like Tingle in Twilight Princess. I can't remember his name though. I'm gonna have to look it up. While I was doing research for this episode, I stumbled across it's Perlo, and he ran a like rupee game in Castletown So yeah, look that one up.
Like,
He's Tingle inspired. He
he's
has
got the hat.
and he has the clock, the wristwatch, not the wristwatch, the timer. What do we call that thing?
Stopwatch?
Stopwatch. Thank you. Good grief. How could not? Words are failing me today. He has a stopwatch, which is part of Tingle's character as well. Tingle wears a stopwatch around the neck. So it's like a semi-modern. I would be okay even with teases like that, I guess. But I want Tingle to come back, man. He hasn't been in a game since Wind Waker.
Has it really been that long?
I think so.
Huh.
He wasn't in Skyward Sword. He wasn't in Breath
He's
of the
probably
Wild.
in some of the handhelds, maybe.
Maybe. Next on the list, who do you got at number 7?
I got Mallow, that little child that opens a store.
Yeah. Yes, the Mallow Mart, the
Yeah.
greatest theme song of any shop in any game ever. Oh man, that's a good time. I really like his character. He's the original boss baby.
True.
I always thought he was a baby, but then he like talks and you're like, this isn't a baby.
Are you sure it's not a small child that's just really smart?
Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of weird looking, but I like Mallow a lot. My number 7 is also from Twilight Princess. It's Telma, the barkeeper / member of the Resistance. I wanted to put the Resistance in here. Unfortunately, most of the characters on their own aren't like super standout, but as a group, it was a cool idea. The Resistance is a group that is working to restore peace to Hyrule and fight against darkness. And I just love in the end game, you work with each member of the Resistance to unlock certain parts of the map, essentially. And in the end game, as you're storming the castle, Link gets overwhelmed by some Bokoblin archers with flaming bows, and then a big old herd of Lizalfos running at him. And an arrow gets shot, and it looks like it's going to take him out. And then the Resistance swoops in, sends a hawk, intercepts the arrow, comes back, and they pull like just straight up an Avengers moment where it's like all of them there. One of them has a bazooka and shoots the Lizalfos with a missile. Yes.
I don't remember this, but now I really want to play the game again.
It's not really a missile. I think it's a bomb, but it was so cool.
What's a missile if not just a fast moving bomb?
Yeah. It was such a cool moment, and then they're never seen again. I was kind of hoping like that would be really cool to add them in. So this is something that I think Zelda should do more in the future, is have this sort of like Link. It doesn't make sense that like Link is doing everything by himself. Like no one else is trying to help at all. Like there's not any other groups trying to fight against Ganon ever, or I don't know. They make it make sense in the context of the stories, but I would love to see another team like the Resistance in a future Zelda game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And Telma was the first one that you meet in the Resistance, and she was cool. All right, Micah. What's your number 6?
I think 6 will be the grandmother from Wind Waker.
Okay. I thought you removed her from your list. You were telling me.
I did, but then I put her back on for some reason, and she jumped up from number 10 to number 6 now.
You're like, psych.
I'm listening to my heart. I'm winging it.
She's awesome. Grandma's soup. Nothing beats
so
Grandma's
good.
soup. Nothing beats Grandma's soup, yeah. Why did you add Grandma to the list?
Well, Grandma's soup.
That's why. That's why.
That's the main reason. But I feel like it's the only like parent that I can remember of Link. that
Yeah,
at
like
least
a
slightly
direct
helps.
relative. Mm-hmm.
I want to say there's one of the older Game Boy ones or something. Yeah,
There's the uncle
it's
in
the
Link to the
uncle.
Past.
Link to the Past. Yeah, I think that's
And
the
in
one I was thinking
Twilight
of.
Princess, he lives on his own, but he kind of has gosh, what is his name? He's in the Resistance.
Laurel.
It I think it starts with an L. I can't remember though. But he's
I'm
sort of
incredible.
a father figure. He's a former knight, and he's the one that is originally sending you to bring the sword to the castle for something. I don't remember exactly the plot. I need to play Twilight Princess again. But he was a really cool character. He's in the Resistance. When you go talk to him, he doesn't say anything. He is also wearing a helmet, so you can't see who it is. And then when you talk to him again, he's like, "It's me!" And I just remember thinking like, "Oh, what? He's back? That's cool." And he comes full circle. He helps you get the Master Sword as well. So he is always the one to help give you the sword. So he's a cool character. He almost beat out Telma. I guess I should talk a little bit more about Telma. I didn't really talk about Telma as a character, but she was like she helps Ilya. Is it Leah or Ilya?
That's a good question.
I I never knew actually if it was. I think it's Ilya. She helps Ilya when she loses her memory and helps you take a Zora who is injured to another part of Hyrule to save that Zora. And I don't know, she just had a lot of personality and it was really cool. She was probably the most memorable of the Resistance.
Even more than that bazooka dude?
Yeah, he was a cool character too, who was a mentor to Zelda. So yeah, basically
Nice.
he is basically the old man from Triangle Strategy. He's like the same character, same personality, and looks very similar. Triangle Strategy's ripping off Zelda.
Wow.
I just kidding. You already gave your number 6, right?
Yes.
Grandma. My
Grandma,
number
yeah.
6, the Happy Mask Salesman,
Mm.
who was pretty great in Ocarina of Time, but really becomes a full-fledged legend in Majora's Mask. He is funny, he is weird, and he's very happy.
Ish.
When you lose the masks and he throttles Link, give me my mask back, I need it. It's so funny. He's just whack. He's like so cartoony and such a contrast to every other character in the games he's in. But he also gives this like creepy, mysterious mentor vibe. So I don't know. I like the Happy Mask Salesman. He has a Mario mask on his backpack. And he somehow has Majora's Mask and wasn't very careful with it. And yeah, that's not cool. A Happy Mask Salesman. It's a good time.
That's why he's only 6 and not number 1.
Yeah. Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Prince Sidon.
Of course.
I mean,
everybody loves them some Sidon.
He's so good natured. He's incredible.
Yeah, he's got a winning smile.
Oh, it's so good.
The thumbs up. You can do it. Who better of a motivator than Sidon? You know, That's a good pick. I may have him on my list as well. My number 5 is Medley. And I really liked Medley as a character from oh no, list. Mike is changing his list. I really liked Medley's character in Wind Waker. The sage
that one, yeah.
in Wind Waker. Yeah. I don't know. I just really liked her character. She was infinitely more interesting than the prince that she was looking after, and very likable character. And I was very sad when she was like, I will stay here in the dungeon to power the Master Sword. And I thought, we're leaving Medley here forever? Like, what? Because she didn't come out with us. Same with Maker, the Korok,
Makar.
Makar.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it?
I don't. I look at it and go, I can't pronounce that. So I just don't even try.
Like,
I was really sad at the ends of those dungeons because like they're trapped in here now. So, but they come out at the end. In the end credits, they're on the boat.
yeah.
And
so they're not just doomed to isolation.
Yeah, they're not just trapped in the dungeon forever. Like, that's nice. So there you have it. Medley.
Nice. Which is interesting because my number 4, is that what we're on?
Mm-hmm.
Is Macker.
Oh, yeah, hey, let's go.
I mean, he's great. And also, the little rattling sound when he does anything is awesome. I love it so much.
I love his fiddling skills.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that too.
That's great.
He's great.
Yeah, he's a good character. I really liked that concept, and they should do that again, where you have like a character that helps you through the dungeon, partner characters that are actually doing things.
Yeah,
like you got to play as these characters.
Yeah,
so I guess
cool. I wouldn't mind if there's like
are they
a quicker
NPCs
swap.
since we got to sort of control them? I mean, not really.
They're 95% of the time.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. My number 4 is Alfonso.
Good old Alfonso.
Good old Alfonso. Do you remember who Alfonso is, Micah?
Of course I remember who Alfonso is. Are you insane? The train dude / pirate.
Yeah, I mean, is he a descendant of a pirate? Does he have the same name as the pirate? I thought he was just the train dude.
It's the same time frame, is it not?
He is the train conductor that Link works with in Spirit Tracks and was just an awesome character. I just specifically remember. Here's the thing: is I have these characters tied. It's like the Resistance. I have specific memories. So there is a villain in Spirit Tracks that is essentially the Winter Soldier. Burn, I think is his name, Byron. And he's huge. Byron's a big guy, and in this art style, there, that means he towers like 3 times Link's size.
Yeah,
and he comes in to take you out, and you're trying to get past. And Alfonso, who is also huge, steps in. He's like, "I got this, Link," and he fends off Burn while you head on to the next part of the final map. And it was such a moment. And I loved it. That was so great. Yep. There's some cool characters in that game for it not being like the most memorable Zelda game. I really liked a lot of the characters in that game. We're coming into our top 3 here. Michael, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Cass.
My number 3 is also Cass.
Almost 100% just for the sweet music he plays when you're close by.
I can't believe. Based off how this list was going, I was like, we are not going to have any of these line up. But maybe. Well, no, actually, I know for a fact.
After this point, I don't think you have the same as me. I'd be very surprised.
Cass. Let's go. Yeah, Cass is awesome. You're right. The music. The music alone is so good. He's, if Zelda had party members, I'd recruit Cass first.
Oh, for sure.
Also, we need a good Rito to balance last. Out. Rivali, I would never bring onto my team.
If I had to recruit him to win the game, I would lose. I would never finish.
We hate Rivali. Like that's pretty obvious
so
on this show.
Even I've been thinking at one point, I was like, maybe Rivali's not as bad as I remember. And then I see like a 10-second clip, and I'm like, Rivali is worse than I remembered. the worst.
The part where he's like at the very end of the fight, he's like,
I
he
guess
gives
I
such
underestimated that part.
yes. What does he say? I can't remember. It's like, I guess
I
I
guess I underestimated just how lucky you are.
yeah. Oh, I was like, oh my gosh, you're
Is he
dead.
finally going to
Shut
redeem
up.
himself?
Shut
Nope.
up. Good grief. I was like, at least I didn't die to him. Oh, too bad Link's a
uh,
silent protagonist, because he could have laid some sick burns on
oh,
Rivali.
for sure.
Yeah. I purposely don't use Rivali's Gale because I hate his voice, you know? I'm just kidding. I
Yeah.
definitely use that
I wish
ability a
his
lot.
ability wasn't so useful.
Nice. Cass. Cass at number 3. Cass
Yep.
is also like a Rito that is a parrot, which is kind of cool. Like,
He's got that different looking kind of face.
yeah. I like Cass a lot. All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is
Yeah,
Urbosa.
that's a good pick. You know, ironic that you picked a champion here because I didn't, but I did pick Sidon. This is where
He's
I
close
slotted
enough.
Sidon.
The
Yeah, so
people's champion.
Urbosa at number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's in that one memory, you get some real talk with her, and then she summons lightning to wake up Zelda. And I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that she thought it was hilarious too. I remember
Yeah,
her
and
just
then she
laughing
just
her head
busts
off.
up laughing.
Yeah.
Uh, that right there is like the sole reason I'm like Urbosa, one of my favorite Zelda characters.
Also, that scene where she pulls out a sword and is like, "Face me head on, cowards," and turns
Oh yeah,
around, and the I want to say the Foot Clan. What are they called? The Yiga
yeah. I was
Clan.
gonna say the Yiga. Yeah,
Foot
yeah.
Clan.
It was a pop
Freaking in
into my
my
head too.
Ninja Turtles. The Yiga Clan reveal themselves, and she just dizzles them. It's pretty great.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a great character. Sidon. Can I be transparent with you, Micah? When I first met Sidon, I did not trust him. I was like, he is way
he's too. Yeah, and then you
he's
just realize he is just so pure of
yeah,
heart.
yeah. I was like, he's too friendly. Like, he definitely wants something and is trying, like, because he had sent people out looking for Hylians and was like looking for.
Yeah, like he just wants to eat some good old Hylian flesh or something.
Well, it just seemed like he was kind of using you, but then turns out that he was just a really good guy. Like, you go up the Zora's Domain mountain and you read these stories, and they're like legends about him, like saving people and stuff. And they're 100% true stories of him doing like really
Yeah.
heroic feats. They're
And you
not
know,
like
these aren't he didn't like commission these. People made them these themselves because they love him so much.
right. He is not very prince like. In fact, he was like pretty against the elders of the Zora's domain. I totally missed someone redeemed hydrate. I was like, what are you doing, Mike?
This water's really old, so I took a really small sip.
That's funny. Yeah, so I liked Sidon a lot, and yeah. Sidon. S tier for Sidon.
Oh, for sure. Sidon is
Alrighty.
definitely S tier.
Do you have any honorable mentions you want to give before we give our number 1?
I did, but I forgot who they were.
I've got some.
I'll steal yours, Roscoe.
Close on my list here, what Roscoe. I have Loon on my honorable mentions. Loon and Roscoe. Loon from Breath of the Wild. She is in love with a puzzle-solving orb that she has named Roscoe because she is romantically attracted to guardians. She's insane. she is absolutely insane and super weird. But I had to give her an honorable mention. She's not going to make my top 10 list, but what a weird character. But you know who does deserve to be on the honorable mention list? Yamo, the traveling merchant that sells every rare ingredient you need to finish Chef of the Wild or Chef Percent, Breath of the Wild, cooking every meal. Yes, she for some reason has all the ingredients that you cannot find naturally in the wild and you can only find in shops spread throughout Hyrule. She has them all, but only when it's raining, which is so weird. I don't know why they included that as a feature. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time looking for Yamo as part of my challenge run, which you can check out over on our YouTube channel, where I cooked every meal in the breath of the wild, in the breath.
Yeah, I just can't believe you didn't have Groose. Oh, I guess we still have one left, don't we? When the honorable mentions, unless your number one is Groose. He can't be. He can't be.
I've got
what's the fish that I gotta give an honorable mention to? The fish from Wind Waker. I already forgot
the fishmen. The fishmen.
Yeah, is it just fishmen?
Yeah, that do your maps. They're pretty awesome, but they're not one character. They're actually many characters.
That's why they're not on my list. Hetsu?
I also have Hetsu. Oh, Hetsu's that's a good one. I also have on my honorable mentions Gondo, who runs the upgrade shop in Skyward Sword. I liked his character a lot. I don't know why I liked his character especially, but he was almost on the top 10.
Pretty much all the pirates from Wind Waker.
Yeah. They're all pretty great.
The moon from Majora's Mask that's on this list.
I don't know. I technically an NPC. Is it alive? I don't know. It is horrifying.
I mean, it's more human than Wii Fit Trainer, in my opinion.
That's debatable. So let's give our number ones, Micah. Why don't I just come out and say what my number one is? It's Groose! Groose!
I mean, he's all right, but he's no number one.
Listen, Micah, I don't know what about Groose grabs my attention, because I usually hate characters like Groose that are like the bullies turned good, but his character arc is so awesome.
Is it really that good?
It really is that good. Listen, I know there are a lot of Groose haters out there, and it's okay to be wrong. It's okay, people. Groose is great. He's got the best hair in all of Zelda.
I feel like that's not even true, though.
The tallest hair in all of Zelda. That's also not true, actually. Looking at the Skyward Sword, not Skyward Sword, looking at the Twilight Princess characters and seeing all these characters that I completely forgot about. I was like, there's some wacky looking characters in that game. I forgot how weird the characters were in that game. But they're great. Groose is my number one. Deal with it, peeps. Groose is great.
I guess he's great in some people's eyes.
The Legend of Groose. It's great that you could all be in this journey.
Good old LPD. Adventure. Ugh, Groose. I'm kind of there with you. I mean, Groose isn't bad, but he's not.
He's not even on your list.
He's not even top 10 material.
All right, who's your number one, Micah?
So my number one is actually Groose. My number one is Errol, Link's sister in Wind Waker.
Oh, okay.
That's
it took a second for me to remember.
Let you borrow her most prized possession in the entire world.
A telescope.
Her telescope / spyglass. Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah. She's pretty
that's
cool.
all I got.
I don't know how I feel about her being number one. I feel like there were a lot of other people on your list that were
better than Groose, though.
Maybe.
Not gonna lie, I wasn't originally gonna put her at number one, but my heart spoke to me, and this is how it happened.
What were you originally gonna put at number one?
Well, I didn't have any plan for number one. I just had a list of 10 names, and then I decided to let my heart speak for me. But I was like, I don't think.
For some reason, I thought you were about to.
Arrow's going to be around 3.
I thought you were about to throw a real curveball and be like, Rivali.
That's right. I'm a terrible human being.
Who's the worst? We should rank the worst characters in Zelda. Rivali will be number one.
Easily number one. Over Zant, Garahim. Because they're just evil. Rivali's just
the worst.
The worst. Yeah, I don't know how to describe him besides just the worst.
Oh man, what a time we have had what a time we've had here tonight, ranking all these Zelda NPCs. Our lists, I really thought all of your NPCs were really good. You had some that I did not include, but I would
I feel
have.
I feel like Link the Pig was maybe a little sketchy, but I just couldn't not have Link the Pig.
Yeah. Also, we have no Gorons on the list, but if I were to put
I really
a
wanted
Goron,
Big Goron.
Big Goron, Daruk. Daruk is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I love there's a cutscene in Age of Calamity where he's there making Link eat rocks with a bunch of soldiers, and they're all like, chug, 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 to rocks. Because that's what Gorons eat, man. And Link's got to train to be like,
oh my goodness. Daruk. That makes me want to play the game.
Daruk is so much infinitely better than the modern character that is his descendant that has the ability. I didn't really like that character. I was like, that's kind of lame. Like,
I can respect him overcoming his scaredy cat nature.
Somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat.
Daruk was also afraid of dogs, which was quite funny. There you go.
Yeah, I almost actually put Daruk, but I was like, I already have a champion. I'll just have one champion on
this. Might be just a topic for another show, but you originally had Ganondorf on this list as well. Maybe we go through and we rank like best Ganondorf,
best Ganondorfs. Which I mean, spoiler there, everyone already knows my favorite Ganondorf. Obviously,
Majora's Mask. There's no Ganondorf in Majora's Mask.
Unless, I've heard theories Ganondorf is actually inside the moon piloting it to crash on Termina.
I like that
big
theory.
Spaceship.
He is the moon. The moon is actually Ganondorf. What a time we've had here tonight. Thanks so much for everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us. Yeah, that's a wrap. That's the end of the episode. We talked a lot different NPCs. I noticed you had a lot of Wind Waker. You also had a lot of...
I think I had 5 from Wind Waker.
Yeah, you also
had Beetle, like Beetle's assistant, I guess, but he's practically Beetle. So that one kind of doesn't count as Wind Waker, but...
Yeah. You didn't include any from handheld games either.
Nope.
Also, none from 2D games. I couldn't remember any characters.
Yeah,
from the 2D
they just
games.
don't. I mean, it's hard for them to have as much character and be as memorable. I think is the problem when they're like 2D and really small.
Yeah, and they weren't partner characters or Zelda or
because
there were some really unique partners in the Oracle games. Yeah. Ricky, the boxing kangaroo.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode where we talked about NPCs, but you know what is a playable character? You're a playable character. You can go over and follow us on social media. We are on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Also, Discord. Well, I think I shouted out all the social medias you can follow us on. Links to all that are in the description. Special thanks to Roger Pollard, our buddy, for making the intro and outro tunes that you hear each and every episode of this podcast. If you want to check out more of his stuff, links to that are in the description. And with that, we'll close out with a closing remark by Micah.
Majora's Mask Moon, still more human than Wii Fit Trainer.
Talk to y'all next week.